Good evening, all of you. So, in day 6, we are going to discuss about different types of data types in Python. So, now today class, that is day 7, we are going to discuss about reading input and writing output in Python. So, after that, we have to discuss about type conversion in Python. So, these are the two topics we have to discuss in day 7. So let us start the session. So we will go and discuss about reading input and writing output in Python. So what is a reading input and writing output in Python? So for example, if you take the C programming, so if you take the C programming, so for reading of a data from the keyboard, you have to use a scanf function. So by using a scanf function, you have to read the data from the keyboard or from the user. And similarly, and by using a printf function, so by using a printf function, you have to display same onto the console, that is onto the monitor. So in C programming, you have to use a scanf function for reading input from the keyboard or user, and by using a printf function, you have to display the output. So in this example, scanf is a input function and printf is the output function. So that is in C programming. So whereas in Python, you have to use input function. So that is taking a user input from the keyboard. So by using an input function, you have to take the input from the user, or you have to take the input from the keyboard. And next one is a print function. So the print function is a output function. It will go and display the output to the console, and it is a built-in function in Python. So input function is a built-in function in Python, and a printf function is a built-in function in Python. So by using input function, you have to read the input from the keyboard or from the user, and by using a print function, you have to display the output to the console. So for example, let us see the input function. So for example, the syntax for writing of input function is input and followed by prompt. So that means what is the message you want to write? You have to write in between the single quote or double quotes by using a input function. So for example, I will write so input function. So input and followed by I will write in double quotes enter a value. So input and followed by for example whatever value I want to read from the keyboard, that value will be assigned to A. So after that I want print, so by using a print function I want print A value. So in this example, what is the value I want to read from the keyboard? So that value will be stored into the variable A, and similarly by using a print function I want to print the A value. Now let us run the program. So it will go into asking enter the A value. So I enter the uh, A value from the keyboard. So after that you have to press enter, then it will go and display the value of A, that is 20. So by using a input function, you have to read the data from the keyboard, or you have to accept the input from the keyboard, and by using a print function, you have to display the variable or value of the variable. So whereas in C programming, you have to use a scanf function for reading input from the keyboard, and a printf function for displaying output. So this is example. So name is equal to input followed by enter your name. So next I want print hello and followed by plus name. So what is the name I want to read from the keyboard? That value will be appending to the hello and followed by name. And after that I want to print a type of name. So then I got the type of name will be class. It is a string data type. So for example, a is equal to, so input, or I will use the same thing. So uh, enter the string. So enter the string, and after that I want appending hello and followed by plus a, and after that I want to print what is the type of a. So what is the type of a I want to print? So let us execute the code. So now enter the string. So I will enter the string is Sai and press enter. Now it will go on appending hello and followed by. So what is the string you are going to read from the keyboard? That value will be appending to the hello and followed by Sai. So now it will go and print a type of A. So what is the type of A here? So it is a class object string data type. So class object, it is a string data type. So A is a string data type. So that means that the input function always is going to accepted string data type only. So the input function which will go and accepted by default string input only. So for example, if you want converted that input string into some other data type like integer, float, and so on, then you have to use a input function. I mean int function or float function. So if you want converted from uh, in Python, takes all the input as a string input only by default. So if you want converted the given string into integer, then you have to write or then you have to take int function, or you have to use a float function. So by using these two methods, we will going to convert the string input into integer and a float. So that means you are going to converting type conversion. You are going to convert the given string into integer or float data types. So that will be explicitly. So explicitly how to convert the data type. So that means that manually. So manually how to convert the you have to convert the string into integer as well as float data type. So for example, so I will go to execute here. So for example, I will read a, enter a string, then I want to say that hello followed by plus a and type of a. So now I want converted this entire input into a integer data type. So now I will go to execute the code. So now in this time I will enter number also. So I will enter in the place of entering a string. Now I will enter the number. Okay. So now I want print that a value. So 1, 2, 3. So now see here. So now in this time it will going to accept the uh, number, and the type of the a variable is a class object integer data type. So previously, so that means the Python takes all the input as a string input by default. So if you want converted that string input data type to some other data type like yeah, integer or float, you have to use input function or float function. So this is an example. So number equal to input function and followed by enter a number. So then that number, whatever the number I want to taken from the keyboard, so that value will be converted into integer type, and that value will be added to num plus 1, and it will go and print the add variable. So then I got the output is if suppose I want to enter the number is 25 from the keyboard, so then it will go and substitute in the place of number. So 25 plus 1, so that is a 26. So that will be stored into the add variable, and it will go and print add variables. So then I got the output will be 26. So that means that, so previously you are going to accept the string data type. So now which will going to accept the integer data type. So for example, I will enter the enter the number. So enter the number. Let us take number. So that number will be converted into integer data type, and it will go and print that a value, and it will go and print the type of value. Now let us execute. So now I want to enter the number is floating number. So I want the number is a floating data type. That is, I want to enter the 2.5. Then what happened? So you have press enter. So see here. So invalid literal for int function. So invalid literal for int function. So with the base 10, that is a 2.5. So it will go and accepted only integer type of data only. So it cannot accept it float data type. So let us execute one more time. So 123, press enter. Now see here, it will go and print the a value and type of a value which will go to print. So that means by manually you have to convert. So it is an integer number or it is a floating number. So one more function is called float. So now in this time I will enter float number. So I want to enter the float number. Then I got the output is a value is a 2.5, and it is a class object. It is a float data type. So previously a is a integer data type. So now the a is a float data types. So by using a by using a int function and a float function, you have to convert the given string into integer and float data types. So next one, displaying output in Python. So how to display the output in Python? So by using a print function. So print function is a output function in Python. So by using that print function, you have to display the output to the standard output device. So for example, print g of g and print g comma f comma g. So then it will go and print g of g and g space f space g. So in this example, print function is a output function in Python, and input function is a input function is a that will be a input. So input function is a it will go and accept the input from the keyboard or from the user, and printf function is the output function, and input function is the input function only. So that is a input function like as a scanf function, and printf function for a print function it will go and acting as a printf in C programming. So next one, Python print output with custom SCP. So that is a separator and end parameters. So while printing of a while printing of a strings in Python, you have to use a custom some special symbols, or the string will be ended with so and so. So you have to use these two parameters. So SCP stands for separator, and end. So these are the two parameters you have to use for printing of a variables in. So printing of a variables in Python. So let us see here. So I want to execute one more time. So for example, g of g. So print followed by g of g, and I want to say that end is equal to, so the string will be end is equal to followed by at the rate symbol or dollar symbol. So I want print the GFG string, and the string will be ended with the dollar symbol. Okay, see here. So here in this example, it will go and print the string, and it will be ended with the string is ended with some special character like a dollar symbol. So this is a parameter. So while printing of variables in Python, you have to use end is equal to followed by special characters. For example, if we give a instead of dollar, if I give a at the rate symbol, then the string will be ended with the at the rate symbol. And one more parameter is called separator, SCP. So SCP, so that means the string of characters will be separated with the at the rate symbol. Now let us execute this code. So I will write here with spaces. So that is the first character, it is a G, capital G, comma, and the second character F, comma, and the third character capital G. So followed by separate equal to at the rate. Now see here, for every character is separated with at the rate symbol. So for every character is going to separate with a at the rate symbol. So these are the two parameters. So by using a end parameter, you have to uh, end the given string with a special characters like a dollar symbol, at the rate symbol, and so on. And by using a separate parameter, you have to separate the each and every character with the at the rate symbol or dollar symbol, and so on. So these are the two parameters. So by using these two parameters, you have to end the string with the at the rate, or you have to separate the string with some special characters. So next one is formatting output. So we have different types of formatting outputs in Python. So that will be you have to use open and closing curly brackets. So that is called formatting a string. So if you formatting a given string, then you have to specify the first character is a F. So F for formatting string, and or you have to use a capital F. So either you can use a small f or capital F. So the meaning for small f and capital F is formatting a strings in Python. So in this example, I am writing name is equal to GFG and print F and followed by hello. So it will be empty curly brackets. So inside of this curly brackets, I am writing a name and followed by how are you. So that means that what is the name I want read from the I want assign, that value will be substituted in the place of a open and closing curly brackets. So that is a one type of formatting strings in the Python. So this is one type of formatted strings in the Python. So let us execute this code. So for example, so number is equal to GFG. So GFG. So and after that so print and followed by F. So F is a formatting string. You have tried the F before writing of a message. So that is a hello, and followed by you have tried the value. So you have tried the value in between open and closing curly brackets. So that is a my value is num. So num contain GFG string hello world. So now let us execute this code. So print f comma, or I believe is a single quotes. Then what happened? So name error. So number is equal to GFG, and print f comma hello and followed by number and followed by world. So what is that mistake here? So print f or you have tried a name. So it's not a problem. So you have write name is equal to GFG and print f comma. So it is a formatting string, and here there is no comma here. So f, it is a formatting string space, and you have tried in double quotes or single quotes. So hello and followed by number, or you have tried name and followed by world. Now let us execute this code here. So invalid syntax. So I will write in double quotes, then execute the code. Okay, now see here. So it will go and print hello and followed by GFG. So in the place of open and closing curly brackets, which will go and substitute the name, that is a GFG, and followed by world. So that is the output of formatting. So it is a unformatted, so unformatted string literals in Python. So by using a open and closing curly brackets, you have to substitute that value inside of the message. So for that, what you have to do, you have to use the F. So here F indicate that formatted output. So next one, using a format method or format function. So by using a format method or by using a format function, will we also write the print function. So in this example, empty square brackets. So the empty square brackets indicate that which will going to hold some values. So the empty square brackets indicate as a it will going to hold some values in the program. So for example, a is equal to 20 and b is equal to 10, and sum is equal to a plus b, subtraction is equal to a minus b. So then I want to print the value of a is and followed by empty curly brackets, and b is and followed by empty curly brackets and followed by dot operator, and I will use a format method or format function and followed by a comma b. So then the value of a and the value of b will be substituted in the place of these empty curly brackets. So that means then I got the output will be the value of a is 20 and b is 10. So that is the meaning for these statements. And second statement, so in this time I will be use a index positions. So that is uh, 2. I will write the some place value. It will go on to store some value, that is a 2 is the sum of 0. So it is a index number 0 and followed by 1. So and it is a index number 1. So that means that here I have a three values. So that is a 20 and 10, and after performing this sum, then I got the 30. So that means I have a three values. So the first value which will be stored at 0, and the second value which will be stored at index number 1, and the third value which will be stored at index number 2. So now here in the place of 0, it will go and substitute 20, and in the place of 1 which will go and substitute the 10, and in the place of 2 which will go and substitute the 30. So that's why I got the output is 30 is the sum of 20 and 10. I hope you'll be understanding what I am saying. So the curly brackets work as a placeholder. So it will go and hold some index number, or it will go and hold some value. So by using a format function, you have to write the output function, that is a print function in Python. So next, and also you have to use different types of operators in a print function, that is a percentile operator. So you have to use a percentile operator for writing of a variables in the Python, or you have to use a percentile D. So it is a formatted strings in Python, that is an integer data type, and a percentile F, so that will be a float data type, and a percentile S, it is a string data type, and a percentile X is a hexadecimal number, and a percentile O is a octal number. So these all will be also used in C programming also. Then the difference between uh, in a C and Python, it will be different in Python. So let us see how it will be different, how we are going to use that percentile in our Python. So for example, so I'm going to read the number from the keyboard by using the input function, and that number is converted into integer type, and that value will be stored into the num variable. So after that, add is equal to num plus 5. So what is the number I want to read from the keyboard? So that value will be substituted in the place of number plus 5. So then I want print the function print the sum is percentile D. So here this statement will be looking like as a C programming. In C programming also we are writing like this. So the sum is percentile D, and there is no comma. So whereas in C programming you are going to use a comma and followed by percentile. So in Python you have to use a percentile and followed by add. So percentile and followed by add. So then it is a function add percentile and followed by add. Then it will go and get the value of add at the time of printing of the sum is percentile followed by add value. So that is a 55. So in this example, the percentile is a interface between the these variables. Percentile is the interface between the variable values. So variable values. So for example, I will try it in Jupyter Notebook. So first one is a number is equal to int of input function and followed by enter a value. So enter a value. So next add is equal to number plus 5, and I want print the sum is and followed by percentile D, and followed by there is no comma, whereas in C program you have to write comma and followed by variable name. So in Python you have to use a percentile operator and followed by variable. So that is the add variable. Now let us execute this code. So it will go and ask the value from the keyboard. So the value is 23 and enter. Now see here the sum is 28. So 23 plus 5, that is a 28. So here the percentile operator is used for, it is a interface. So interface between to the these variable values. So I will tell you clearly in the next class also. Coming classes also we will going to use percentile operator in coming classes. So in this time the percentile operator is going to interface between to the variable values. So that is an example for percentile operator in Python. So almost this will be equal to the C programming, but in C programming you are using a comma and followed by variable name. So whereas in Python you have to use there is no comma and followed by percentile operator you have to use for printing of the variables. So next one is type conversion. So type conversion. So what is a type conversion? So the process of converting the value of one data type to another data type. You have to convert it from one data type to another data type is called as a type conversion. So the type conversion which will be same as in C programming and Python, C++ also. So the process of converting the value of one data type to another data type is called as a type conversion. And Python has two types of type conversions. So not only Python, in other language C, C++ and Java also we have two types of uh, type conversions, that is a implicit type conversion and explicit type conversion. So what is the implicit type conversion? So the automatic conversion is called as a implicit type conversion, and the explicit, what is explicit type conversion? So that is the manual conversion. So the manual conversion from one data type to another data type is called as a explicit type conversion. So in this example, it is a explicit type conversion. So it is a explicit type conversion. You have to convert integer, float, bin, octal number, hexadecimal number, and so on. So this is an example here. So x is equal to 10. I want to print type of x, and y is equal to 10.6. I want to print type of x. X is equal to x plus y, and print of x. X is type of followed by type of x. So that means uh, it will be an implicit type conversion. It will get converted automatically. For example, a is equal to 4 and type of a. Then I want to convert this into a float data type. So the integer value I want to convert into a float data type. So what is the implicit type conversion? So the automatically convert the one data type to another data type is called as a implicit type conversion. This is example for implicit type conversion, and this is example for explicit type conversion. In this example, I'm going to converted manually. I'm going to convert them manually. So that's why it will becomes under explicit type conversion. So you have a these are the different types of type conversions. So that's all about type conversions in Python. So it is a manual conversion and a automatic conversion. So the automatic conversion is called an implicit type conversion, and the manual conversion is called as a explicit type conversion in Python. So that's all about today class. So in the next class we will go and discuss about conditional statements and loop control statements in Python. So if you have any doubts, you can post your query in the chat box. So otherwise, that's all about today class, and we'll go and meet in the next class. So thank you.